I mentioned earlier that there's been a bit of a thing in the wings world, and I just like to keep people up to date on it. I'll be quick about this because I know that our guest doesn't know much about our old friend Wings, but basically this guy's getting a gastric bypass surgery in Mexico. He's been
Do you know
teasing it for
Wings
a
of
while.
Redemption at all?
It's okay.
I'll
He's raised over
maybe I have. Maybe I just don't recognize it. I'll look it up, but go ahead.
he's raised about $25,000-$30,000 from fans to get this gastric bypass surgery in Mexico. He weighs 460 some odd pounds. He's been heavy for a long time, and the fans are kind of like, dude, you got the money. What's the holdup here? Just seems like you're sitting on our money. And so his latest excuse, Woody, is that his sleep schedule is messed up. And so he's not awake during the hours that his mother is off work. Makes sense, right?
I'm a little lost, actually.
Everyone was until he went a bit further and he explained that he needs to go over to his mother's house when she's off work because he needs her assistance in booking the appointment. You see, the Mexican doctors are going to need her passport.
He's 32 years old. You don't need a parental signature when you're 32 years old. You could.
No, see, what you don't understand, Woody, is they've got to punch her passport. When she gets 3 of these referrals, she gets a free burrito.
Oh, well, yeah, now that you lay it out like that, sure. Now,
this is the third.
He's not a good liar, right? It would like. He doesn't understand how passports work. That much is clearly true. Doctors don't stamp passports. That's a thing. They don't even check.
I love seeing you're like with a Rubik's cube of retardation. You're just like,
Jesus Christ!
It's like 8 different colors. It doesn't make sense.
There's more colors than sides.
One of them's polka dotted. What do I do with the polka dot one?
It's just that. So the people who donated, thinking that he was all right. Wings has a superpower. This is for Kit, in that people forgive him, right? He doesn't come across as like a strong man who's got his act together. Instead, he takes all his weaknesses and vulnerability and lays them bare. And it's actually kind of appealing. Like, you know who this guy is and what's going on. And you're riding this roller coaster of life with him, which, by the way, just goes down and down and down. And you're like, I don't know. He's like, man, in the time I've started YouTube, he's like a YouTube OG guy. I'm going to call it 10 years. That's a pretty good estimate. 9.
Okay.
And I bet he's gained 150 pounds, maybe. Kyle, does that sound reasonable?
In the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Well, he is our best source of information. So he's gained somewhere between 200 and 8,000 pounds, roughly. It's really hard to tell. Honestly, I would say he's gained. He probably was at like 330 when he first started his YouTube career. And so, I guess those numbers work out.
Something like that.
Perfectly, actually. Yeah, good call.
So, actually, so maybe because we didn't see him in the very beginning, there could be 20 more. So he's gained about 150 pounds. He's now about 460. He has a hard time walking around, as you would, and people donated to help him turn his life around. And this is the second time, right? The first time there was a boot camp. He went to Kyle's house. He sort of helped him get his act together, lost 40 pounds, and found it again. Now he's going to get a gastric bypass, which seems like it would be a more permanent and effective and like a solution where you can like buy the discipline that he doesn't seem to just have wired into him. And he hasn't come out and said that he's not doing the surgery. But if you watch, it kind of seems like that's in the implication. And, when he says, look, I haven't been able to schedule the surgery because, I sleep so much that I'm not there when my mom is awake and I need my mom to help me book a surgery. He's 32. It's like, oh my gosh. Now it's like the jig is up or the gig is up. One of those is this ever going to happen? Just call Wings.
Let's take bets. Does anyone want to bet that it's not going to happen? Because I'll bet that it is going to happen.
I'll bet you then. $5 straight up, no odds.
$5 straight up, no odds. It will happen. And by it, I mean that he will go to Mexico, and he will go to Dr. Garcia, graduate of the Hollywood Upstairs Medical School, and he will get a gastric bypass surgery.
I win this bet if it becomes 2019 and it hasn't happened.
I was gonna say, what's the time frame? That's important.
So,
It's March
8
right
months.
now.
Okay.
It's 9.5.
Although, if I will say this, I feel like the bet is null if the doctor refuses to complete the surgery because he weighs too much.
I'll take a push on that. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Virtual
I
handshake.
like what we did there. Yeah, $5. I
hope he does it.
I hope
me
he does
too.
it too. Oh
I
yeah.
think that
Oh
he's
my
gonna,
gosh.
like, once I feel like he's just never hit that like momentum level to where you're excited to be seeing the progress. Because like if he lost like 50 pounds or something right after the surgery, which you do after that surgery, like super quick, I feel like then that would like kickstart him, and he'd be like, oh, okay, I'm not in some impossible scenario. Like this is
Taylor,
possible.
Taylor, have you ever been working out and maybe you need to put 2.5s on each side to get the exact weight you want, and then after doing a few reps, you realize you didn't put a 2.5 on one of the sides, and you're like, I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
That's what losing 50 pounds is like for Wings of Redemption.
He will notice it in his face.
We didn't notice it. Look at those. You've seen the before and after pictures, the postcards that we put out after he lost 40 pounds. It was like,
Oh, yeah. But what was he at
Yeah,
then,
but I
and what did he
think
get down to? Versus what is he at now?
he went from 440 to 400.
But the
He
thing
lost
is, there's a difference between us seeing it and
11%.
them seeing it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've lost 6 or 7 pounds lately, and I think it's like, your beginner gains that no one else can see or gives a fuck about but me. I'm looking at my body like, haha, this is like an archaeological dig, The first 2 feet barely reveals any dinosaur bones.
We got
they're-
ribs here. We got ribs.
But they're poking out, right? The next 2 feet are going to reveal awesome Woody, final form perhaps, and but I look and I'm like, oh my god, that's an ab. Now I don't pretend to have abs or anything like a 6-pack, but that's where they're going to be, and I can see them like emerging. That when Wings loses 50 pounds, he'll do that too. Everyone else will be like, oh, you basically look like the same guy, just like they say to me, I'm sure. But to Wings, he'll be like, there's a difference here. I've made an impact. I've scratched that first 2 feet off this archaeological site. The next 50 pounds, and everyone's going to treat me like they do Boogie. They're going to say, holy smokes, look at the difference on you. Look at these before and after thumbnails. That's what will happen if he gets the surgery.
I bet like at that weight, like it's so, like you were just saying, it's hard to walk around. I can imagine being that heavy, it's hard to walk around.
Yeah.
Like just standing up is going to get easier. Like I feel like after like a week or two, he'll be standing up to like walk and get water or whatever you drink right after the surgery. And he'll be like, huh, that was way easier than before. Like I don't feel exhausted. Like, and that would be a good motivator.
If there's a live streamer that I'm like, ooh, I need to see this, it's Wings of Redemption. Right? It really is. Like, if Ice Poseidon's on, I'll click on it, or Shroud, or the guy I watch, Swish or something. I forget his name. But if Wings is on, that's the must-see event, right? And
honestly, yeah.
We all just pray that Gustavo's in the game too, or whatever that guy's name is.
Stop.
Yeah.
These are some inside
Gustavo?
references. Yeah.
No, my streaming knowledge is lacking.
I might even be getting his name wrong because me. But Wings was playing with a gentleman named Gustavo, and this guy was not very good. It seems not on Wings' level at Rainbow Six. And dude, Wings got so mad at him, unbelievably upset. And you have to understand, like, I bet he wasn't playing great. But Wings would die, and it wasn't even Wings' fault, according to Wings. He's just, why aren't you guys coming in here and, like, charging with me? Why? I've been in this room for 11 seconds. How come you're not keeping up with me? And he's very, very mad at everyone else for not doing the things that Wings... Now, mind you, he didn't tell them to do these things. He was just upset that they didn't know to do it on their own. And
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I donate regularly from a variety of accounts. I'm subscribed on a variety of accounts. I enjoy the Wings of Redemption show.
dude,
And
it's not fake.
no, it's real. That's what it's about. It's like when the Real World came out, like way back in the day on MTV. Like it was like, holy shit, this is. Or Survivor first came out, and it was like, oh man, this is real. This is because I've seen The West Wing. That's fucking bullshit. This is real. This is actually happening. This is going down. These are real people, and the same is kind of true right now with like Twitch. There's plenty of Twitch streamers who are, I won't say fake, but they're kind of like they're performing. They're entertaining, and so they're doing what they think is best to entertain, and they're performing that way. This guy goes out there and just lays it out on the line. He's just like, here I am.
Yeah.
Here I am. We got to make $50. We got to get 12 subscribers, and then I can get the fuck off.
I hate this fucking game. I do this for the money. I don't want to be here. Or like people will troll him all stream long. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And they're trying to get him to make comments on things that would get him into hot water. And it's just like, this isn't how I imagined it. I thought I was going to come on, grab a couple good players. We were going to roll and win this isn't how I pictured it at all. I've been streaming for 6 hours. I've made $13 and I have to make this much more. And the goal is, you guys get 3 minutes of ads.
People will. He'll be playing this video game Rainbow Six, and he doesn't have. He has alienated so many people that he doesn't have enough people to play a full party with. Right?
Dear.
As a gaming YouTuber, he doesn't have enough people to like get six guys together and go.
There's hundreds of people watching him, all wanting to see him rage. He has 500,000 subscribers, something like that, 400,000 or 500,000 subscribers. He can't put together a lobby of 6.
When we want to play like PUBG, it's like I get on my Discord and I'm just who wants to, before I can even put play in, it's like the lobby's just insta full. Like when I sign on, 5 people message me at a minimum. Somebody, just hey, can I play? Yeah. He can't get a full party together, so he has to play with randoms. And so the people who are watching live do this thing, which is just ingenious but cruel. They message those people on the PlayStation Network and say, hey, I know you don't know me, but I will pay you $25 if you team kill that fat fuck. He is streaming. He is streaming right now, and he will rage like none other. I got the money. Let's make a deal. Half now, half when the job is complete.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, you make $12.50. You in?
And so they're team killing him and like ruining. And see what he doesn't understand is that's what the show is. That's what he's like. This is terrible. I'm not able to game at my maximum ability. Now, I was going to come in here. No,
Does he really not know?
He really doesn't know.
I think on a certain level, he
thinks
does,
that 500 people are in that crowd because he is such a good gamer and they are interested in seeing him play at a platinum level at Rainbow Six. No, we are there to see what happens when the shit hits the fan. Like that's what we're here for.
It wouldn't be real if he knew necessarily, right? Because it would feel maybe fake if he was just like flips his keyboard and you're like, what? That wasn't really.
No, he does
breaks controllers. He throws headsets. He punches walls.
When he doesn't break controllers, that's my favorite. He will take a controller and just and not break it because he can't. And then he just
he just drops it. And he goes. He's just so full of rage.
So mad.
You can feel the anger. And there's something about seeing someone so furious over something so petty that is just really fun. And he threatens to kill people. He threatens to beat people's teeth out of their heads with a pistol. Like he's like, I'd incapacitate you. I'd knock your goddamn teeth out with my pistol grip. And the guy's like, I'm 14.
And if the guy's obviously 14, he'll be like this. I hope your parents die in a car wreck. And they're like, what? In a fiery car wreck. I hope they die slowly. I hope you go the rest of your life knowing that your parents died of terror. These are like real things. This isn't like
he means it.
He doesn't say things like this. This is pretty close to word for word. Like, I hope you live the rest of your life without your parents knowing they died a terrible fiery death. And you're like, oh my God.
It's a video game. It's a video game.
Well, you don't understand. The guy was camping.
Right.
And by the way, when Wings rages, so I usually Wings has developed a play style where he's pretty accurate gun, like hitting a single pixel across the map. So that's what he does. He'll just sit there and sort of wait where a head pops up or whatever and do that. But when you watch him get frustrated, he's always getting flanked down the side because he'll sit there and aim down sights for like 90 seconds in a row until eventually, he gets flanked. And he doesn't see it coming. He doesn't like see the game evolve or something. I don't know what's happening, but he gets flanked a lot. And then he always blames his team. How did you guys allow me to get flanked?
As Woody has put it, there is an entire industry that has spawned just to like highlight his lowlights. There are a dozen channels now with hysterical names that sort of put montages together of him going crazy and being a bad person. And you might think, well, all right, you give them a month, maybe they get 2 of these montages out. They crank out 3 or 4 a day.
Daily, they make montages.
Daily, there are multiple montages.
And like all these channels, I don't follow it nearly as closely as Woody or Kyle.
They get recommended to me at this point.
Yeah,
at this point, YouTube
ambassadors.
knows it's my guilty pleasure.
But like, it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like all those channels are like a Hydra, where it's like, Wings Ting's head was chopped off and he quit, and then 3 more sprout up in its place. Like there's no way to get rid of them all.
Dude, it is outrageous. And they're like production qualities and their branding is getting better all the time.
What do you guys think about that?
One guy will come out with 3 or 4 videos in a day, then another one releases like a 25-minute video of him raging from that day, and you're just like, you spent 25 minutes of your live stream like insulting children and getting mad about deaths, and it. And
what
it's
did you
real.
ask, Kit? Sorry.
It's all good. No, it's all good. I was just asking like what so it happens a lot with because you've seen the Twitch clips, like I just showed you like a 30-second clip, and someone will just take like literally the top 8 Twitch clips of the week and put it in a video and slap it on their channel, and that's it. And sometimes I'm like,
Wings has made it so that you can't clip it, right? Like I guess there's a setting. Kyle, lay it out there.
Basically, when you're streaming on Twitch, it creates a video on demand, a VOD. So he's made it so that those are no longer available, and he instantly deletes them whenever they're created. So now people just sit in there and they continuously clip. They're just like clipping over and over to
compile it,
and then they're compiling it. Yeah.
That's dedication.
So much.
There you go. And for no monetary return either. Like, see, that's the thing.
That's
like,
true.
He'll be like, these people are profiting off my misery. And then then they'll they'll put that clip in their montage, and then they'll edit in their own monetization page on YouTube and show that they're not completely unmonetized. They're doing it all for the lulz,
Dude, and it's like you would think that since this is a business model that's kind of working for him, he'd be in on the gang, the gag. I mean to say, like probably everyone's too young for this reference, but Jessica Simpson came out with one of the first like in real life reality shows type thing where they just followed her around with a camera, and she'd be like, I don't really, tuna's not chicken, it says chicken of the sea. I always felt like I was a smart mark on that one, right? Like I could see that she was being stupid, but there was like a wink in there, sort of a like if you're a smart mark, this is what the show is, and she's an actress. That's not. I don't feel like that's what we're talking about here. He's raging because he's raging, not because that's what the people are here to see. He's not putting on a show. This is just pure Wings anger, and as well as it helps him financially, as much as it helps him financially, it's taking a toll out of his soul because he doesn't actually like this. He wants them to want him to do well in the game. His ideal stream is him pub stomping in Rainbow Six and them all saying, wow, Wings, like this is some real high level play that I enjoyed from you. But he's not Shroud. He's just a guy who kind of head glitches behind chest high walls, and no one comes to see that.
So you said you want Wings on the show?
I do. I feel like it would
Are you ponying up the 10K?
10K seems excessive.
What would you think would you be willing to lay down?
I feel like we shouldn't talk about it publicly,
Uh,
but into the 2, maybe even 3 digits.
High 2 digits, I hope.
I don't know. We've never paid for anyone to come on the show before,
That's true.
unless you somehow count that Chris Hansen scenario, which doesn't count because he voluntarily came over on the show, and he technically owes us some of his time
That's exactly true.
for the money we actually donated to his Kickstarter. So that does not count. So we've never paid for anyone. Are we going to really start with him?
I think it would be good for he should recognize the promotional opportunity, right? There's a world of people who care about him watching this show who might not be tuning into him. If they could see him, his next stream would get it 4 digits.
Maybe he could come in and give his side of the story. Maybe we could ask him some of these questions that befuddle us. Some of these, point out some of these things that he says and does, and be like, "Hey, why'd you do that?"
I know I fussed at him like 3 or 4 shows ago after
Did
the
you?
charisma thing. Yeah,
Did you? I don't recall.
yeah, probably went by. You didn't notice.
The NASCAR driver who people only tuned into to watch crash and
Yeah. Well, I must have zoned out for that 7 minutes.
Dude, at one point Taylor thought I was reading it, and then I watched a Minnesota Burns podcast too. Is it called Dude Comedy? I forget, but they have a podcast going on, and they thought I was reading from something as well. And it was really complimentary to me. I liked it. In the same way that Taylor has been accused of doing steroids, and he's like, "Huh, you think?" That's how I felt when they thought I had it pre-planned, and but it wasn't pre-planned.
It was just from the heart.
I was very upset at the time, but as is Wing's superpower, that just kind of fades away.
yeah, you get a couple banquet meals in you, and you feel all better again.
Don't we all? I would love to have him on. You have him on and just hear what he has to say, laugh with him a little bit. I bet he'd enjoy his time. I bet if he's watching this, he's thinking he wouldn't enjoy his time. But Wings, you were wrong. You would like this. It would be a blast. It would be
I bet it would help his stream as well.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. He would have $1,000 day if he came on this show. It would be pretty cool, I think. Chiz will never book it, so we would have to actually do something. We would have to book it. I would have to book it probably. But yeah, hit me up on Skype if you want to do it, Wings.
You'd have to get in touch with Wing's agent.
You really think that
Grandma.
Chiz wouldn't book it?
I do think that. I do think that. Yeah, I think that. I think that Chiz would have no interest in having every time we ask for him. He says no, doesn't he? Am I crazy?
Yeah. And part of it is sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy because Wings always blames Chiz for his removal from this show, and that's just not. He's like, yeah, Chiz poisoned their minds against me, like Sauron, apparently. Like he gave each
Like
of them a
Grima
ring.
Wormtongue.
Yes, yes. He poisoned their minds and twisted them against me, and he was the deciding vote. He's got all these crazy ideas about how that thing went down.
It's not how I remember it. I just think it'd be fascinating.
Yeah, it was Lefty leading the charge. He was like, "Get him out of here."
Oh, if I would tell you what Lefty said if it wouldn't get the show demonetized.